Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on National Intern Week with Amazon. I'm Suki, I'll be your host for this presentation on behalf of CareerMap. And today I'm so pleased to welcome Aniket, Matteo and Christina from Amazon for this session, where you get a chance to gain some valuable insight into their roles in the organization. As we go through the session, please feel free to use the chat box. If you have any questions, please send them across and we'll try to answer them during the Q&A session at the end. With that, I'm now going to hand over to the Amazon team to get started.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. So the topic for today is charting your path from Amazon intern to senior manager. We'll start with an icebreaker first, and then we'll talk about like our presenters, and then go through their journeys in Amazon. So first up, yeah, if we can have the short video.
Of course. If I can just ask everyone to mute themselves and to turn their cameras off, please.
The most interesting part of being an intern at Amazon is seeing how all the processes work together to complete a goal.
Getting to look into what makes Amazon work so efficiently has been a crazy experience. Because everything you do interacts with the next step, and ultimately leads to customer satisfaction.
I have grown both professionally and personally. At Amazon, they have challenged me to think in ways that I've never thought before.
I've had the opportunity to really get hands-on experience with not only seeing the operations and how it works, but with the associates.
I think that has really helped me as a leader and as a person, because now I can incorporate that into my thinking and how I go about solutions or how I go about interacting with people. One thing I really learned in my internship this summer is how important diverse perspectives and inclusive leadership really is.
Having a diverse perspective allows growth for yourself and your team.
Having diverse perspectives creates a more creative and productive environment.
So really being able to understand and have that perspective as a student is incredible.
All right. Well, with that short video, just wanted to introduce, what our interns think about their internship experience, and yeah, with that, we'll move into the first part of our presentation. So we have three presenters today, including myself, and then Christina and Matteo. So I'll start off with the first presentation and introducing myself. So hello everyone, my name is Aniket. I am a senior manager with Amazon in the Amazon logistics team. A few peculiar facts about myself to start off with. I've lived in 13 different cities across India while growing up. So that was until the age of 22, and then after that, like moving into the professional arena. So yeah, I had to basically a lot of moving around growing up. My father was in the Indian Air Force, and that basically was the reason why we kept on moving. Another peculiar fact about myself, this one's really peculiar. I was born with a tooth. So as a baby, basically had a tooth in like in my mouth when I was born, and then it was surgically removed about a week after I was born. And surprisingly enough, it came out again, the permanent teeth, and then it had to be taken out as well. So yeah, I'd say I've been blessed with an extra teeth. And then finally, yeah, this is a very peculiar experience that I had after joining Amazon. In the first 2 years of working in field operations, I had 9 different line managers. It was not by design, but at the same time, like looking back, I feel that working with these different leaders, I learned a lot. I learned how you should not be dependent on another person for development. You own your development and go through your growth goals yourself. And it helps. The experience actually helped me become more self-sustaining. Uh, so yeah, with that, just going into kind of my background. I started off my career, or basically my professional career, as a petroleum engineer, and that's what I studied, the bachelor's in engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, ISM in Dhanbad. Um, so those were 4 years of a lot of fun. Something I had no clue about petroleum engineering. It's a very niche kind of engineering, and after 4 years, I ended up working as senior petroleum engineer in one of the fastest growing companies in India at that time. That was Gain Energy. Um, which is where I worked for 5 years in engineering and operations field. After 5 years of working in India, I wanted a different kind of an experience. Wanted to go and work in another field and try and see, how I can transfer some of the skills that I had developed over the years. So that's when I decided to do it in a more structured manner. I actually went and did my MBA from Rice University in Houston, Texas, in US. So yeah, so I went there in 2014. So 2014 to 2016, I got my MBA. And then during that process of figuring out what I want to do next, oil and gas was good, but then what next? That's when I interviewed with Amazon and landed up with an internship opportunity in California. And that's where I did my 3 months internship as the Pathways Operations intern. So this was a cross-dock fulfillment center where I worked as an intern, and in 3 months, like I was responsible for a very meaty project, trying to improve the productivity for the fulfillment center, and trying to increase the throughput for the building. So those 3 months, they were quite intense. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, it was highly rewarding, given that in 3 months I was able to show results that were sustainable. After I completed my internship in 2015, I was offered a full-time role with Amazon, and I grabbed it with both my hands. And I joined the operations team in US, in Dallas, Texas. Worked there for a year as an operations manager, Pathways operations manager. Pathways is a leadership development program within Amazon in operations, and it's basically structured for you to give a very crucible experience, an immersive experience where you are thrown on the deep end, given big challenges to solve. And the expectation is that with that experience of working on the ground level, getting your hands dirty, you get to learn how the company operates, how operations functions, and then take up different kind of roles within Amazon, the path that you want to take. So after doing that for 2 years, I also moved during that time from US to UK. So that's another thing I wanted to highlight. So within Amazon, you get the opportunities to move around, um, and work in different geographies, which helps enhance your experience. So I moved from US to UK to launch a new fulfillment center in Manchester. It was the second robotics building that was being launched in the UK. So that was again uh, a very enriching experience, working with the launch teams and kind of kicking off an operations facility in Manchester. So after working for 2 years in operations, I again wanted to kind of broaden my horizon, and work on something which is a bit more strategic and gives me a bird's eye view of how operations work within Amazon. And that's when I moved to the senior supply chain manager role within Amazon UK team. And there, I was there for 2 years as the supply chain manager, responsible for forecasting the demand for all the fulfillment centers in the UK. Again, a completely different experience threw me into a lot of challenges that helped me learn a lot about how the end-to-end supply chain planning works, which makes the operations planning possible. So after those 2 years, I was promoted to senior manager within the team. And as the senior manager, I was then given an additional responsibility of, apart from just planning the demand for the UK FCs, I was also handling the transition of the EU supply chain from pre-Brexit era to the post-Brexit era, wherein we had a lot of challenges with the custom borders being put in place. Supply chain got disrupted a lot. So how to navigate through that disruption and then to build back our capability to be able to do cross-border trade. So that was the challenge, and again a very enriching experience for me. After completing 3 years in supply chain in the UK, then I finally moved to my current role, which is within the Amazon logistics team. So I'm the senior manager for the analytics team within SNOP. My team is responsible for generating the demand forecast for the last mile team within Amazon. So that's basically the team which handles the planning for all the delivery vans, which take the packages and deliver it to the end customer. So the planning around that is what my team currently does for at an EU level, generating plans for the countries. So yeah, that's in short, like kind of my career path that I've followed within Amazon. Everyone has their own different paths, but yeah, I wanted to share mine and how I've worked in different roles. Some of the achievements that came along the way. So the new fulfillment center launch in Manchester. So we have very peculiar names for our fulfillment centers. So this one was called Man 2. And this was the fastest launch that we did in all of Europe back in 2017, and we had the highest number of customer orders being processed in the first 75 days of launch from this building. Another very fun project that I was part of was the FC Games, which was piloted in this fulfillment center. In a nutshell, what FC Games is a fun and interactive way to motivate our warehouse workers to have fun while working. So it was basically a simulation which would show the workers in a very animated a video game kind of interface. How many packages did they pack, how many did they ship out, how are they competing with their teams, and it was more like the arcade games where you could see your other team members with their own icons and their own unique names trying to compete with each other. So that was a very fun project that we did there. Then in the supply chain team, there were some unique challenges that we faced. Like during COVID, there was a huge demand increase because people were not really moving out and going into the retail stores. So there was a lot of demand online. So to be able to deal with that kind of a demand growth, we had more than 100% increase in the number of orders that the UK region was getting, and to be able to cater to that kind of demand, to increase your supply chain abilities was again a very big challenge that my team went through. And at the same time, we also had our automation like part of the operations in the robotics buildings. We increased our share of our total business from 75% to 85%, which was a big boost and resulted in a lot of cost savings. Lastly, as I just mentioned, transitioning from a pre-Brexit world to the post-Brexit world was a big challenge that we went through. It was a painful process. The entire 2020 2021 was basically dedicated towards going down to like zero cross-border trade after Brexit, and then slowly ramping it up, getting it back to the maximum that we can in this time period, and to be able to deal through a lot of things which the UK team specifically was not used to, which is a lot of customs processes, movement of trucks across the English Channel in a custom environment. So that was again a very big learning experience. All right. So with that, just wanted to also talk about why I feel that Amazon is a great place to start your career journey. I certainly did mine after my business studies, and one thing that I can definitely talk about is the immersive experience that I had right from the get-go. Talk about the internship, talk about like the full-time role that I started. Like I was thrown on the at the deep end, uh, a lot of support to learn the way Amazon operates, but at the same time, the expectation is also for you to learn a lot of the things on the go, trying to figure out, how Amazon works in its own peculiar way, and what are the challenges, that we need to overcome in the process. So you have to dive deep a lot during that time, trying to learn a lot of new things as well, but really going to the bottom of how things operate, or how different processes work, and how we can improve them. Another area where I would say Amazon really shines is the level of autonomy that people get right from the beginning. Like I've seen it. I've worked in other organizations as well, and in the beginning, there's a lot of like support given to the new hires, but at the same time also a lack of autonomy, I would say. But that's not the case in Amazon. Right from the beginning, the interns, the new hires, they're given a lot of autonomy to work with the problem they have, like the approach they want to take, the tests they want to do. Uh, like there's a lot of support that way to test out your ideas, and then see what sticks, and then scale it up based on what works. So that is a good segue for my next point, which is the willingness to experiment and learn from our failures. So that's something we as Amazonians are really proud of. We want to keep testing new things, new ways to do our business, make it more successful. And one thing that we really don't want to do is to keep doing what we were doing earlier and not make any improvements. So the willingness to experiment and learn from it is really high. You saw this in the video, in the Icebreaker video as well, the diverse work environment, and this is something that Amazon really embraces. You will see that in the hiring process as well. Diversity is something we really look for when we are hiring our workforce. No matter which part of the world you are from, Amazon really is open to all to come and work with us. Create new systems, processes. Improve the way we do things, get that diversity of ideas from people from different backgrounds, different industries, and really contribute in making us a really successful company that we are today. And lastly, the growth opportunities within Amazon. That's something a lot of people are looking for when they come into the company, and they are new and they are trying to learn. There are so many growth opportunities in Amazon. Like if you're doing something that you've been doing it for a while, and you want to try out something different, like there are so many opportunities within Amazon which the team really promotes and pushes you to go and try out. It's not being frowned upon within Amazon that you're trying to leave a team and try and go and work somewhere else within Amazon. It's something that we encourage. It helps keep people motivated, work towards rounding off their skill sets and becoming a more successful leader in the long run. So the growth opportunities within Amazon, they're ample and being encouraged by one and all to take use of. And then lastly, just sharing some of fun photographs. It's not all work at Amazon. There's a lot of fun. There are a lot of fun activities that we do. These are from different journeys that I've had in Amazon. So right from being a pathways operations manager, that was my first year at Amazon, like having a manager's night out, having some drinks and some bowling. And then as a supply chain manager, we had quite a few fun team events. This one is a game of broom ball. If you have not heard of it, I would highly recommend to go and Google it. It's an innovative sport, I would say, that has been created, where you play with some brooms and yoga balls, and basically it's a mix of hockey and football. Like it's really fun. So that was a really nice, fun team outing we had. And then lastly, as the senior manager within the Amazon logistics team, this is one of our team outings where we had people from all over Europe come together in London, having a lot of fun, and you're getting to know each other better. So yeah, that's it from my end. I'll hand it over to Christina, who will talk about her internship experience. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christina, and I'm an operations intern working at LCY2, an Amazon fulfillment center that's right next to London. So I've been based in London for the past 6 years, and I recently graduated from Imperial College London and the Royal College of Art with a double master's in innovation design engineering. Before that, I studied architecture and entrepreneurship at UCL for my undergrad. And in terms of my career path, I worked in design and engineering and did a few internships in UX, UI, and product. I've also done a couple of projects, innovation projects for companies like PepsiCo as a design engineer. And that project was actually quite related as they worked on creating a system to make PepsiCo snack supply chain more sustainable. And as you can see, my experience was quite focused on either design or engineering. But after my master's, I really wanted to focus on management because I was more interested in having a bird's eye view over projects and putting together the puzzle to create a solution. So that's why I decided to go into operations management. So to get to know me a bit more beyond my education and my career path, here are some fun facts about me. So the first one is that I'm Taiwanese and Peruvian. More specifically, my ethnicity is Taiwanese, but I was born and raised in Peru. So growing up with these two cultures was amazing as it gave me a lot of different perspectives, quite different perspectives because they're really different cultures. And it also made me who I am today. The second fact is that when I was 7, my dad gave me and my sister pet alpacas for our birthdays. And even though I don't remember much about them because I was so young, I can definitely say that they're the weirdest pets that we've had. The third fact is that one of my favorite things to do is explore big cities. I love going to new places and exploring new areas. And so I feel really lucky that I live in London. As for my journey into Amazon, throughout my academic career, and especially during my master's, I've been really interested in innovation and impact. So I'm passionate about specifically how we can use leadership, engineering, and design to create an impact in the world and also solve some of our most complex problems. And reading about the position of operations management intern, I saw a really incredible opportunity to apply my unique background and disciplines into the operations of one of the most influential and impactful companies in the world. I saw so much potential to make processes more efficient, more sustainable, more automated, and also focus on customer experience. So I really resonated as well with Amazon's leadership principles, specifically ownership, learn and be curious, bias for action, insist on the highest standards, and think big. And I really saw myself fitting into this work environment with those values. So as for the application, I applied in October last year. I got my offer at the end of the month, and then I started my internship in July this year. I should be finishing the internship in December. So now that we've looked at how my journey has been into Amazon, let's look at how working at Amazon actually is. So for me, it has definitely exceeded expectations. And the first aspect that exceeded my expectations was how much ownership you're giving during this internship. So in previous internships, I've experienced being given specific projects and specific tasks to complete. But at Amazon, I was given a problem statement and I was given complete freedom to define my own projects. So I was given full ownership of what I do during this internship as well as what I get out of it. And so that added a layer of responsibility and also a layer of independence and problem solving that I've really enjoyed so far. The second aspect is very related to the first one, and it's how much trust was placed in me to deliver results. So from the very beginning, I was expected to be able to find answers myself and act with agency. So there wasn't as much guidance as I expected to have as an intern. But in that way, finding my fitting and gaining confidence and understanding of Amazon's incredibly complex operations has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've had. So the third aspect that exceeded my expectations is how much I learned so far. So I was expecting to learn a lot, but I definitely have learned a lot more than I expected. And because as you get to decide your projects as well as you also get to decide what you learn and how much you learn. So for me, of course, I've learned a lot about operations and a lot about Amazon, but I've also learned a lot about project management, and also I've developed many skills like data analysis. The final point that I did not expect was how open Amazon is to new ideas, technologies, and innovation in general. So I had this expectation that big changes would be discouraged in such a large company, but instead I felt like I was really encouraged to look at things from a different perspective and develop new ideas. So what does a normal day at Amazon look like? So I work 4 days a week at LCY2, and I chose to work at LCY2 because it's one of the largest FCs in the UK, and I wanted to learn as much as I could. So right now, around 4,000 people work at the FC, and this will increase to potentially 8,000 people during peak time, which is a massive amount. The building is really, it's massive. So during my workday, I normally split my time between the office and the shop floor, depending on what I need to get done for that day. And at the beginning of my internship, I spent a lot of time on the floor, observing people, shadowing people, and learning as much as I could about the process and the operations. And then as I moved into planning projects and getting approvals, I spent most of my time at the office. So some of my day-to-day responsibilities include project management, stakeholder management, data analysis, problem solving, and writing white papers. And the last thing to note is that LCY2 is an incredibly diverse building. As you can see, there's a picture of the flags that are hung up in the reception area. And I've gotten to work with people from all over the world and with all different kinds of backgrounds, and my coworkers have been so welcoming. So as for projects, I already touched upon how you get to define and execute them yourself. But to give you a bit more detail, I was given a problem statement to reduce one of our quality metrics related to defects. So far within the scope of the project, of the problem and the objective, I've defined 7 projects and I'm executing 4 of them. I have full ownership of my projects, as I've mentioned before, but I do receive support from people within LCY2 and also in other FCs. The people I receive most support from are probably my line manager as well as my other project sponsor. But of course, I also get to decide how much support I receive. Another cool thing about projects is that I get to contact and also visit FCs from around the country and also around the world to gain different perspectives on the challenges, the problems, and how to solve different problems. And overall, it's been super challenging and super rewarding to dive deep into a problem, find root causes, develop solutions, plan the projects, execute them, all whilst engaging with several stakeholders. So the last thing is, as an intern at Amazon, you are encouraged and you're also expected to make actual impact within your FC's operations and also beyond. So it really is an amazing experience. That's it from me. I hope hearing a bit about my experience has been useful for you. I'll hand it over to Matteo.
Hi everyone, I'm Matteo, I'm 24 years old. I'm Italian and I'm an operations intern in Swansea in Wales. Let's talk about my education. Well, about 2 years ago, I graduated with a bachelor degree in economics and management at the University of Trento in Italy. After which I enrolled in the European Master in Business Studies, which is a master degree program in international management offered by 4 different universities. So I had to spend 1 semester in each of these universities in Italy, France, Germany, and Spain. Well, as regards my career path, I'm currently I'm an operations intern, as I've already said. In the past, I've worked on some company projects for my master degree program. The first one was a market research project for Salomon in France, and the second one was a digital marketing plan for the cryptocurrency division for Prosegur in Spain. And another relevant experience that I have done in the past is the delivery driver experience. Well, thanks to this opportunity, I could get closer to the logistics and operations field. So, well, I was actually working for a small company which was not operating in the e-commerce sector, but still I had the opportunity to take part into the decision making process, which was quite exciting, and that's why I become very interested in this world. Moving on to my peculiar facts. So my fun fact, well, I'm not your average Italian. I have to say that because I've never been to Rome. It's definitely in my bucket list, but I hope I will go there soon. I'm terrible at cooking, and I hope my friends don't hear that, but I always buy frozen stuff from the supermarket. And I do think that pineapple belongs on pizza. I love this contrast. And I consider myself to have an international mindset. I lived in 7 countries, and having this opportunity was just amazing. I had the opportunity to face with different cultures. I spent 1 semester in each of these countries. Well, as I already said, during my master degree, I had to travel in Spain, Germany, and France. But then I spent 1 semester during my bachelor degree as an Erasmus exchange program in Poland. And then I spent 1 semester in Australia during my high school as an exchange student. All right. So my journey here, I would like to talk about specifically about demotivation, what pushed me to apply for this position and to this specific company. Well, I divided my motivation, which are the reasons why I applied for Amazon, and my interests, which are the reasons why I applied for the operations specific position. Well, obviously, Amazon offer a great opportunity for career growth, and I have a strong brand affiliation, meaning that I consider myself to be a real loyal customer. Especially during the pandemic, I was impressed on how they were able to serve the customers despite everything. And that's why I wanted to learn more about the culture, what's behind this, how they are able to do that, which reminds me actually of the customer obsession leadership principle. And it's true. We put the customers at the first place. And finally, ownership was the leadership principle that inspired me. Well, thanks to these principles, people here work on behalf of the company. They just work to make the company better, and they don't say, "Oh well, that's not my job." They just take the initiative and do the job. While on the right side, you see my interests, specifically the reasons why I decided to apply for the operations position. Well, deep dive, I love to base my decisions on data, and here I had the opportunity to improve my data analysis skills. I'm passionate about operations and supply chain. As I already said, I got closer during my past experiences, but also during my master program, I had a course about supply chain management, and I think I had the best professor I've ever had in my career life, and he transmitted the passion for the subject. And lastly, efficiency. I love to work on efficiency. I just would like to reduce waste, time, and cost on everything. And here I have the actual opportunity to do that. Talking about my expectations, well, a little spoiler is that all my expectations actually have been met by the reality. Well, the first one was to work in an international context. Well, here I have the opportunity to network with people from all over Europe. And if you really want to, you actually have the opportunity to network also with people overseas. For example, I have weekly meetings with the headquarters in Luxembourg, in which we meet all the sites from Europe, which focuses on customer returns, and it's just being amazing. And here, for example, in my site, there are 4 interns of us within the operations. I'm Italian, another one is Colombian, another one is half Japanese and half British, and the last one is from Cyprus. So it's just amazing to see how we approach the same issues with different perspective. And I think this one is one of the strengths of Amazon and why Amazon is a leader in the market and has been able to disrupt every market. Well, my second expectation was to work on projects, and I'm currently working on 5 different projects. This expectation is actually related to the last one. So you are the owner of your projects. So it's being proactive and being resourceful are some characteristics that are required, but as well as rewarded within Amazon. So you are fully responsible for your projects. And my last expectation was to learn every day. Well, at Amazon, it's always day one. It's not just a famous and popular slogan, but it's actually the reality. You have the opportunity to learn every day. The important thing is that you need to be curious. If you are curious, you just ask questions. You need to ask questions also to move forward your projects, because nobody is telling you, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, you have to ask questions, and you need to be able to reach the right people to do that. All right. Here we are with my last couple of slides. My working day at Amazon. Well, I'm working at CWL1 in Swansea. It's a fulfillment center which focuses on shoes and apparel, and we have three departments: inbound, outbound, and reverse logistics. I'm telling this because there are just a few UK sites which focuses on reverse logistics, and we are one of them, one of the main one. And it's I'm telling you this also because I'm working within reverse logistics. And same as Christina at the beginning, it was given me a problem statement, which was to improve some metrics such as the sellable yield. But after a while, I noticed also other problems. We saw some problems arising, so I changed the focus of my projects, and that's why I'm working on different projects with different scopes. So what I wanted to tell you is that you also need to be ready to change the focus of your projects as well while doing your internship if it's required by the business. And which reminds me of another Amazon leadership principle, which is bias for action. Well, the tasks that are involved within my job are to identify departments' weaknesses and pain points, to come up with innovative solutions to solve these kind of issues and problems, to support the team on a daily basis, and to attend weekly meetings with other U sites to discuss the metrics that we have and to justify our results. Okay, so that was my journey and my experience within Amazon so far. I still have 2 months and a half, so I can't wait to see what the future holds for me. And yeah, it's just been an exciting and rewarding experience so far. So I can only suggest you to apply for this position if you're really interested in it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all of you, for sharing that. We've got plenty of time to answer questions. I mean, we've had quite a lot of questions come through. And please keep putting the questions in the chat box, and we'll try to answer as many as we can. But firstly, what would each of you say is the best bit of working at Amazon or within your role? And I think that question came from... So many questions, apologies. But let's answer that question first. What was your best bit of your role and working at Amazon?
So I can start on that one. So for me, it is how much responsibility I'm given. So I feel like I can actually make an impact, and also because I'm given so much autonomy and so much freedom, I get to learn a lot. So it is definitely this culture of you being the owner of your own development and you being your owner of your own projects.
Thank you, Christina. Matteo, Aniket?
You want to go first, Matteo?
No, you can go.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I think the willingness to fail, the willingness to experiment is probably the most unique and the most valuable thing for me working at Amazon. And I've seen that across different teams. So it's not something very team specific. It's the culture at Amazon. Like we almost crave for what are we going to do new. We don't want to do what we did last year. Like we need to do something different, do something better. Like how do we improve? Like Amazon's biggest competitor is Amazon itself. We always try to better ourselves than what we did before, and that to me is very unique, and I really appreciate that in Amazon.
Yeah, mine is pretty related to this one. Basically, I love the fact that people here are committed in improving everything. Like whatever you meet, whatever you find, whatever you face, everyone wants to improve that. Everyone wants to innovate, and everyone wants to bring everything to the next level. And I believe this is just amazing. And also the fact that you have the opportunity to network with people from all over the world and to learn best practices from other sites. So I just love this interaction, and I feel it's being so exciting.
Perfect, thank you all. We'll move on to the next one, and this one was specifically for Aniket. Kai asked, how does working in Amazon in the UK differ to working abroad, and did you find any challenges along the way?
Sure. So obviously with different geographies comes different cultures, and that's no different when it comes to the work culture. So I mean, if you're asking for very specific details, like what was different in US and UK, without hurting anyone's feelings, I'll try and answer that. Like in US, it's very productivity focus, like we need to do more, and with the same resources, how do you get more out of it? So that was number one priority there. Like, and I'm talking about specifically the fulfillment center where I was working. So they were highly driven to better themselves, but it was more from productivity standpoint. And with after coming to UK, I saw a different approach being taken by the leadership, where they obviously wanted to do better than everyone else, be the best in the world, but their approach was more thinking about what we're going to do 6 months down the line, what are the improvements we need to do then, and obviously like what we need to do tomorrow and the next week as well. So it was more balanced that way. So that's something you observe, and I'm sure you're like within Europe as well, when you move between UK and then to Europe, like in Italy, for example, like you'll see different approaches being taken by different teams. The ultimate goal is the same, which is to be the best in the business. But yeah, from work culture standpoint, I think that would be one thing I would definitely highlight as a big difference I saw. And I personally like the UK way, and that's what has prompted me to stay here and not go back.
Thank you very much, Aniket. And Asha has asked, is there any age limitation to join as an intern?
Not that I know of.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
I think as long as you're a graduate or you're currently doing a degree, I think that's the only.
I'm sure you'll be able to find out specific entry or age requirements on their website during applications as well. That might help. And Matteo, what are some of the challenges that you faced as an intern in your role?
Okay, so, well, at the beginning, the problem statement that it was given to me was pretty broad, and I didn't know where to start. So at the beginning, it was a bit overwhelming. Everything that I needed to do, I needed to find these problems. But at the beginning, I was thinking, how do I find a problem in the best company in the market? It's impossible. But that's not true. There are a lot of opportunities, and actually, if you just need to be curious, and you will find a lot of opportunities for improvement. And I believe this was the main challenge that I needed to face, especially at the beginning. Now that I've been here for 3 months, it's been a lot better. I know how to handle this. But at the beginning, it was pretty overwhelming, I would say.
Okay, thank you very much. Kenya has asked, what type of personality or traits do Amazon tend to look for in an applicant? Have you noticed any with meeting all these new people that are working in other roles?
So in my experience, I feel like looking at the people that work at Amazon and also other interns, it's to be driven and to have initiative and to be curious. And as like you can see, like the leadership principles are basically what they look to see in applicants. So there's bias for action, there's ownership, there's insist on the high standards. There's loads of them, and those are basically kind of like what they look for in people.
Okay, Matteo, Aniket, same general answer?
Yeah, specific to interns, I would just want to add to what Christina said, and that would be, I think we are looking for someone who's willing to learn quickly, and like is willing to take up something which is completely unknown, learn quickly, and then come up with a plan to solve the problem. It doesn't mean that that's not the idea. We want to see how you think, how you approach a problem, and that is more important for us in the long run.
Thank you. And on that note, Kai has actually asked, I think it's directed to Matteo, was your performance measured during the internship? And if you weren't meeting targets, would there be a risk of you being fired, or would Amazon help you improve?
No, definitely Amazon would help me improve. I actually still have not measured my results because I'm still testing my ideas and my projects. So I really don't know right now, but of course Amazon will help me in retarget my projects, I would say. So yeah, there's no problem for that. Of course, they expect you to work on your projects and to deliver some results, but yeah, no, I mean, I still don't know because I'm testing right now my ideas, so I don't know about the results I will have. But yeah, no, they are trying to support you anyways, also like during your journey. For example, right now that I'm testing, I'm working with another manager, so they know what I'm doing, and so they are aware of what I'm doing, of what I'm currently doing. So no, there's no way that after like a few months they would say no, that was not good, because yeah, you always talk to your managers.
Okay. And Aniket and Christina, did you find your performance is measured in the same kind of way or completely different?
Yeah, so for me, I was given the problem statement I was given was basically this metric that we have is very high, and we'd like you to reduce this metric. So at the end of the internship, basically what I will be measured on is whether or not that metric reduced with my projects. But I do I also provide support on what worked for them and what didn't work.
Cool. Yeah, just adding on to that, because I'm probably the one who has finished his internship here. So yeah, it's not like you get handed over a problem statement at the beginning of the internship, and then after 3 months people ask, what did you do? No, it's a continuous process. Like you have regular check-ins, like weekly, bi-weekly, where you talk about how do you think this problem can be solved, what are the different data points that you need, where do you get it from. So it's like a constant interaction with your managers, with your peers. So like at any point when you feel like you are not going the right way, or you're not making enough progress, like there are always people to help you out, course correct, and obviously you will be pushed, like when like the desired like outcomes are uh, not being achieved, but at the same time, like if you have the willingness to learn and put in that effort, like there's ample help around to achieve the results that you have set out for.
Perfect, thank you. And Leroy has asked, are there any resources available to help you succeed? Now I think I'm going to consider that as them asking maybe before, during applications, and then also during the role, like the specific roles. Are there any resources that Amazon gives you to help you succeed? Are there any resources that worked for you specifically to help you succeed in your role or your application?
Well, there are some platforms where you can subscribe to different courses. For example, I've attended a data analysis course. So these kind of platforms actually help you out like within your journey. But I believe the real help comes from the people that you meet and that you need to ask for their help, So before starting the internship, actually, there was a recruiter, which was my only point of reference. And but after I started the internship, well, I would say definitely my manager, my direct manager, and my peers, and the other interns as well.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. And Babajid has asked, how was your transition to landing a full-time role? Can you share tips for successful transition to one
of your internship is your approach towards that problem solving. So I think you should first of all not think too much about the full-time role. That would be my advice. While working on the internship, obviously, like the regular checkpoints are really important to see whether you're on track or not. As I said, like the end result is not as important as the journey towards it. So what you do during those 3 months or 6 months is more important than a metric getting improved, because there might be external factors which would improve your metric as well. But that doesn't mean that you will convert your internship into a full-time role. What matters is how much effort you have put in, what is your thought process. What are the different improvements that you came up with? Whom did you talk to? Interaction with others is really important because their feedback will matter a lot when you're going for that decision of full time. So all in all, like, stay super focused on the improvement that you want to do, and try as many ideas as you want, and see what works, and then scale it up.
Okay, thank you. Christina, Matteo, do you want to add anything to that?
I believe that if you are successful in your role, in your internships, then a lot of opportunities are offered. And so, well, I will see in 2 months. Let's hope.
Thank you so much. And I think we might do this as the final question. It is from Oliwale. I'm going to condense the question down. Given that Amazon has that strong sense of ownership exists within Amazon, which is a great thing, how best is the support system for someone who is diversifying into a new career path? So what's the support system like within Amazon, especially for somebody who is new to the role that they're going into, or new to the sector, I guess, that they're going into?
Okay, I can probably talk about my experience since I made that change. So yeah, moving from something completely different, oil and gas, into retail sector, you who are super smart, whom you can reach out to anytime to ask for help. Obviously, everybody is driven; they want to achieve more and more, and they might seem very busy, but at the same time, like, the moment you ask someone for help, like, they are more than happy to come and support you. In terms of structured onboarding plans, we have a buddy system where a buddy is assigned to you, whom you can reach out to for all the questions that you have. You have regular check-ins with your manager, with your skip level manager as well, where you can voice any concerns that you have, ask for any help that you want. So there's enough opportunities for you, and support around you. It's the only thing is you should not wait for others to come to you. You should take the initiative, go and ask for the help that you need, the support that you need, and like, I'm pretty sure that whenever people do that, they get the desired support they need.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I think that has brought our session to an end. Thank you, Aniket, Christina, and Matteo, for joining us today. And I hope everyone that's been on the call has learned something new, something valuable, and some great insights into the role. I'm sure you can submit your applications through the Amazon website. And good luck to everyone who is submitting their applications and applying to Amazon. But that is it from us all, unless the Amazon team have anything else to add.